When it comes to sales, so many salespeople forget that a lot of times we have so much administrative work to do on the back end, and that takes away a lot of time from actually selling. So in today's video, I want to talk to you a little bit about some sales automation tools that are making a huge difference in terms of easing and automating a lot of the back end stuff so that you as a salesperson or your sales team can concentrate on what they're the best at, selling and getting more clients. Hey, it's Tom Jackobs here. Thanks for stopping by the channel. This is all about taking your presentations, creating your performances for more profits. And we do that specifically for solopreneurs and solo practitioners and people who want to take their sales and their business to the next level. So let's dive in to sales automation tools. I know it's not the sexiest thing to talk about. We all want to close more deals. Well, I tell you what, if you are automating a lot of the back end stuff that you have to do, then more sales will be made because you are concentrating on making more phone calls, meeting more people in person, doing everything that you need to do to make more sales rather than just kind of figuring out who to call next, where they are in the process, things like that. But today I want to concentrate on calendar and appointment booking software tools. Now, I did a video recently on Calendly versus Acuity. Now, in today's video, I'm going to review two software programs, Calendly and Lead Maximizer Pro. Now, in full transparency, Lead Maximizer Pro is a software program that I own, and I've customized and made it to be a lot easier. But we'll get into that in just a little bit. Now, what I really want to talk about is appointment setting, because that's what starts the whole sales process. If you don't have an appointment, then you're not going to have a sale. And if that appointment doesn't show up for their appointed time, then of course you're not going to make a sale because there's nobody to talk to. I like Calendly, and of course I developed Lead Maximizer Pro. And there's a couple things on both of them that are really, really very cool. So first of all, what I love about Calendly is the ease of use of the software. And they have a free version, which is pretty awesome. So if we look at the software, and I'm going to go right into Calendly right now, it's super easy for somebody to set up a calendar and get going. Especially if you're one person, you can get the free version. You can set up a few reminders, and then you're off to the races and you're going. For somebody that is just managing themselves, then Calendly might be a very good option for you because it is very simple to set up and it's very inexpensive. Now, if you are managing a team of people and you want a more robust follow-up and follow-through process, along with some other bells and whistles, then I would definitely recommend checking out Lead Maximizer Pro. And in fact, if you click the link down below, you can get a free 14-day trial of the program. All you need to do is just schedule a call and we can set you up with that free 14-day trial. But let's look at the software right here on the screen. So here is Calendly. When you first log in, it's very intuitive, and I love that about Calendly. So you have your appointment types, and it's so easy. You can create an event type, even a one-off meeting. You can build out teams and things like that as well. I have the pro version, the pro paid version, and it's about $15 a month per user. That's one thing that I don't like, is that they're charging you per user of the software. And I get it, because 15 bucks is 15 bucks, right? But if you get like 10 people, that's 150 bucks a month just for a calendar system. Now, just remember that Calendly is just calendar and they do it really, really well, but there's no other like systems tied to it for tracking sales and automating a lot of things. Like you can create a one-on-one or group meetings, collective meetings, round robin, all sorts of different meeting types. And it's super easy to set up and get going. And then your availability is set up through availability. You integrate into Stripe and some other integrations, especially Zapier. So these are a lot of the integrations that you can have, but like Stripe is really important if you're charging for appointments. And a lot of the appointments that we do for our clients are chargeable appointments. And so, of course, it's great to have that all integrated so it's easy to take payment and process that. And then you can integrate with PayPal as well, Squarespace, Slack, and then Zapier, and then Zoom as well, so that new meeting types are automatically created, which is great. when we look at the availability here, and I love what they've done in terms of creating different types of availability. And this is something that is a little trickier to do in Lead Maximizer Pro, but it is possible to do. But you can actually set up different availability for different appointment types that you have. And so like I have different appointment types for job interviews. I only want to do those in the evenings between 7 and 9. If I'm doing interviews, it's a different one. If I'm doing sales calls, it's a different availability. And that's great. And then I can apply it to different event types down here. So I like how they've done that. It makes it really easy to schedule based on event types and the person. So especially if you have multiple people work in event type, then you can have different schedules for each of those different people, which is really, really very cool. But when you're creating a lot of these events, what is the event? You give a description. When can people book? You have your availability, but also you can set up additional rules like, start every 30 minutes. Don't allow people to schedule within 12 hours or 12 days. Just depends on what your workflow process is. Time zone. I love how Calendly does time zones because it's super, super confusing. If you're running a virtual business, if your calendar system cannot get time zones right, then you're going to have a whole bunch of no-shows because people will be confused about the time that they need to meet. And then you can set up different questions that you want people to answer before they book, which is always good to kind of weed out the tire kickers from those that are serious, but also to give you some intelligence before you go into the sales appointment. You can understand exactly what their issues are and customize your sales presentation to that. Workflows is cool what they've done, but it's still, this is still a bit clunky in terms of setting it up. But basically you can, and when you have the pro version, you can send out text messages, you can send out email invites. When you're doing email invites, it's not super customizable. I love to put video into the emails that go out to prep people for the meeting. This is something I tell our clients all the time is, when you are doing an appointment reminder, let's get some video in there so that people are prepared for the appointment and they get excited and they show up. So it's really difficult to do that effectively in here when you're customizing the emails, but it can be done with like a link or something like that. And then of course, if you don't use the workflows, then you can use the notifications. The nice thing about workflows is that you can set it up one time and you can put it on multiple event types, which is kind of cool as well. If you have the pro version, then you can send out text reminders as well. Now, the thing about the text reminders here is there's one message and you can send that 1 hour before and 10 minutes before. And there's not a lot of customization when it comes to the text reminders. And I think this is the major downfall of Calendly is that the customization of the follow-up is not as robust. And I'm going to show you what we've done in Lead Maximizer Pro to really trick it out so that you can get very specific about what you want to talk to people about and making sure that they're showing up for their appointment. That's the critical thing. If you're just sending out kind of blanket, unpersonalized, I mean, if I were to show you, let me just show you what the default is. Reminder, event name with my name at event type on event date. It's really bland. It's a really good word for that. And if people get a text, they're like, oh, there's no personality around it. Versus you have a text reminder that's a little bit more personal. Like, hi, Bob. I'm really excited to be speaking with you today and conduct your impact call. We'll meeting here, and you put the location, which would be the Zoom link at the event date. I'm preparing now for our call. I hope you are too. So that goes out 1 hour before and about 10 minutes before. But it's the same message that goes out. I would much rather have another message at 10 minutes that's a little bit different. It's like, hey, it's 10 minutes till showtime or something like that. You get my personality, right? And then, of course, you can collect payments as well, which is super cool. Overall, I think Calendly is a really good choice if you have one person and you aren't needing to do a lot of customization to it. And then when you look at the live page of it, it's, again, kind of bland. But what's nice is that you can embed this into different websites and things like that, which is cool as well. But again, it's kind of bland when it comes to booking, right? So let's look at a booking page here on Lead Maximizer Pro. And this is something that we've customized with this platform, is what that booking page looks like. All of this is completely customizable. So you can put, your picture, your team, instructions. You can put some more instructions here. You can put video on here. It's super cool. It's a landing page. So You can trick it out as you like. And then you can put different calendar types here. And it's kind of funny. Kind of looks the same as Calendly, doesn't it? Or very similar interface. So you have your impact call. It explains a little bit of what's going on in the call, 30 minutes, date, and you can choose your different times and boom. And then also here, again, customizable forms that you can fill out for different event types as well. So for the impact calls that I do, I want to understand the biggest frustrations and then what services that they're interested in when they're talking to me. Anything else that you'd like to add? How do you hear about me? Say, I know, referral, and then boom, schedule a meeting. And then on the back end of it, when you're setting this all up, this is the interface. This is the booking page. So it's completely customized. Plus, we can do split testing to see which booking page does a better job. When we go into the calendars, what's really nice is that it links into your Google Calendar and you can see all of your appointments. You can look at your calendar. You can look at your different sales calendars. I have different teams that are set up for different things that we do, general calendar, sales calendars. And then when you go into the settings, this is, again, you can set up different team calendars so that you can have multiple people on one calendar booking. So you can do a round robin of this, and it's pretty cool and very customizable as well. One of the things that I don't like just out of the box is the link that is used here. I mean, look at it's a pretty long link, and again, it's a little boring. That's why we've created and customized the landing pages. And then the URL is customizable to the ourscheduler.com. You can also put your own domain up there as well. It's a little trickier, but it can be done, and my team can do that for you. But you can create these vanity URLs that make it very easy for people versus link.leadmaximizerpro.com. So instead it's ourscheduler.com, impact call. Boom. And we're in. When you're creating these appointment, you can put your availability per appointment type, but not per person. So the appointment type has an availability, and then the person has their general availability. Each appointment type can have a different availability, which is great, but each person cannot have a different availability for different appointment types. Now, we do have a workaround for that. We just create another user and for that particular individual, and then link up their Google Calendar. It's a little bit of a workaround, but again, my team, we do all the back end stuff for our clients on this anyway. And then, the same deal. How long is the duration? How long is the time slot? I like this because you can actually show people that it's a 15-minute appointment, but make the time slot 30 minutes so that you have a little bit of buffer after the appointment. You can also put the buffer here, and it won't allow somebody to book right after your appointment. So this is buffers after appointments. And then you can also limit the number of appointments per day that you'll accept. So if you're doing tons of discovery calls or what have you, it's nice to kind of break that up and say, I'm only going to do 5 discovery calls a day, and then we won't display anymore. And then you can also, how far in advance can people book? Now, if you're doing sales calls off of webinar or website or things like that, it's best to keep this date range super tight, like 4 days max on that. This is kind of my general calendar. And then when we go on to the confirmation, so it sends the Google Calendar invite. It also sends in that Google Calendar invite, cancel and reschedule links. You can take that off if you don't want people to cancel or reschedule, or force them to call you first before they cancel. I prefer to make it a little bit easier here. And then if you're running ads to book appointments, you can put your Facebook pixel and put some code in here as well. So it's further customizable. And then if you want to charge, you can put your Stripe in there and it will charge for the appointment. So that's kind of the base. Now, the reminders are all handled in our automations, which is 100% customizable. So we have workflows created for confirmations when sales calls, and you can have this set up for different appointment types as well. And we can get kind of really fancy with this as well. But basically, because this is also a CRM and sales pipeline system, now when somebody books, it automatically creates an opportunity in the pipeline, which is nice. And then we send out a SMS. We have an email that goes out as well. And in that email, I have a video as well that will go out. And these can be templated as well as simple emails. So it's super, super customizable. And what's nice is, I have 24 hours SMS, a text message that goes out. And then it's a different one day of, and then 10 minutes before is a different one. It's like 10 minutes to impact, Bob, meeting time and location. So they get the link again. And then the day of, they're going to get this email. And then day before, they get an email as well. And what I've just added in also is adding an email 10 minutes before, which has just the link, so that if they forget, like, oh, I don't have the link, because I've been getting that recently. Where's my link? Well, it's in the meeting reminder, but it's always best to take away as many problems that people might have or barriers that people might have, so that it makes it easy for them to show up. And that's really the point of the follow-up, follow-through. And the automation of this is to make it super easy for the person on the other end to show up for their appointment and have all the information that they need. So when we're looking at the differences between Calendly and Lead Maximizer Pro, definitely if you're a single person, single operator, you have one calendar type, go with Calendly. You can get the free version. There's no texting. There's not a lot of customization. Now, if you're running a couple people doing like a team, then financially, it definitely makes sense to go with Lead Maximizer Pro. And if you're wanting sales automation and really customize that follow-up, follow-through process, then definitely Lead Maximizer Pro would be the choice. So there you go. That's the Calendly versus Lead Maximizer Pro review. I hope you like that. Make some comments down below. And of course, if you're interested in the free 14-day trial, I'm going to put that link down in the comments as well. And so you can go ahead and grab that free 14-day trial. I've also put together another video that I think that you'd really enjoy on getting more appointments to actually show up for their appointments. So check out that video right there. And until next time, you have a great day.